Hi, I'm Rich Heed, a senior copywriter with Atomic Dust, and I'm here to talk about the art and science of repositioning. Here at Atomic Dust, we work with a lot of companies who are going through a repositioning project. Maybe they introduced a new product. Maybe they recognize that the market has evolved and they need to move on with it. And they need a new way to reach out to their customers, and that is what repositioning is all about. It's about finding that foundation, that new way to talk to your customers. One of the questions we always get asked early on in the process is, how do we test this? How do we know it's going to work? And that's a perfectly natural question to ask, because in this day and age, everything we do is tracked. Where we go, what we buy, what websites we visit, and what websites we visit after the websites that we visit. So it's natural to know, or to want to know, if something is going to work. It sounds like a cop-out, but we believe that the real answer can't always be found in raw data. In essence, marketing is a mix of science, that's the numbers part, but there's also an art. That art is knowing what to do with all of this data that we gather. Marketing isn't the only industry where this is the case. Noted author John Saunders in the Western Journal of Medicine suggested that medicine is both an art and a science, that you can follow all of the evidence that you want and all of the best practices in the world, but to really be a good doctor, you have to know what to do with that information. So what can happen, what can go wrong if you base your strategy exclusively on data? Well, let's look back to, and this is almost cliche, but let's look back to the mid-1980s. The Cola Wars were in full swing, and Coke was losing. Pepsi had established itself as the taste of a new generation, and people seemed to prefer it. And unfortunately for Coke, that meant that their sales were declining. And all of the data pointed to the fact that they needed to make a change, and they did. They changed the formula to be more like Pepsi. They changed the taste of this iconic brand. What Coke underestimated amidst everything was the feeling, the attachment that people had to their initial brand. So for a brand to successfully reposition itself, it's about science, it's about measuring to some extent, but it's also about art. It's about knowing what to do with all of this information that you've gathered, and it's about knowing how to impact the way people feel.